This is Vintage Rail Journeys, a beautifully restored set of heritage carriages from the former Southern Aurora, which originally ran overnight between Sydney and Melbourne from 1962 to 1986. Today, these iconic carriages have found a second life, now taking travellers on scenic rail adventures all across regional New South Wales. This time, they're whisking us on the North Coast Tour, an unforgettable return journey from Sydney to Byron Bay and back, winding through some of the most spectacular corners of the state. From flowing rivers to rolling green hinterlands, sunlit coasts to iconic towns, every day brings a new scene to fall in love with. It's part riverbank, part countryside, a hint of ocean breeze, and plenty of character. On board, it feels like stepping back in time, except this time machine comes with fast Wi-Fi and seriously impressive food. We're sleeping in cozy heritage cabins, complete with bunk beds, pull-down sink and toilet, and a big twist at night that we have never experienced on any other sleeper train before. Along the way, we'll be exploring regional towns, eating ridiculously good meals, meeting some seriously lovely humans, and soaking in scenery so beautiful you might just forget about your phone. And hey, if you're not already one of our phenomenal subscribers, now's your chance to join the club. It's free, it's fun, and the only side effect is developing a mild obsession with vintage trains. Join us for epic scenery, delicious food, and full-on heritage train bliss. This is Australia, like you've never seen it before. Welcome to Sydney Central Station. We are here to board the Vintage Railway Adventure. It's called the North Coast, and our train leaves right from this platform at 9:30 a.m. Check-in opened from 8 a.m. this morning, where we could drop off some big luggage, checked bag, like 30 kilos each, and we won't see those bags until the very end of our journey. And taking on the train with us, we have some smaller sort of duffel bags, carry-on luggage, backpacks, that type of stuff. So we've popped all that off, we've checked in at this little desk behind me just right here, and now apparently with this lanyard we get 10% off coffees at one of the little local coffee shops within the train station. Plus I did hear a little rumour that there's a musician down there a little bit in one of the rooms. We checked into what will be our cozy home on rails for the next 4 nights, a heritage twin cabin on the Southern Aurora train, but more on that later. This is also where we met our beautiful attendant, Elle, who has actually worked on a few different Journey Beyond trains before this one, and she's also a flight attendant for Qantas. You can tell instantly that she has such a passion for people, and we were really lucky to have her looking after us on this trip. At 9:30 on the dot, we were rolling north, the city slipping away as the carriages hummed into life.
Bang on time, exactly on the second.
Order a barista-made coffee at the bar at the Outback Explorer Lounge. We've been on board for about half an hour, 45 minutes now, just kind of tinkering around, getting to know the room and looking through some of our reading materials. If you did see our Indian Pacific video, or perhaps you watched the Great Southern video with me and my mum, this is more like a cruise train, rather than, say, the video I just made with my brother across Canada on Via Rail, the Canadian, whereas that's kind of an A to B, a long stretch of train ride you're moving throughout the night. This train is more like a cruise, like our Indian Pacific journey, where we hopped on and off, had organized tours, and it's much more doable maybe for someone who is not so used to being on a train for a long period of time. We also were handed, well, this was basically waiting in our room, a little dining card and just a bit of info about what time we can expect things. We have different times where we've got a musician playing, we've got 3 p.m. trivia on Thursday, some really cool facts in this awesome book as well. Looks like there are 3 different vintage rail journeys with Journey Beyond Rail. The Riverina Rail Tour, the Golden West Rail Tour, and we, my friends, are on the North Coast Rail Tour. We're on here for 4 nights and 5 days, and this journey is spanning 1,620 kilometres. Are you even listening to me at this point? Or shall we go and get a barista-made coffee? Come on, husband, let's go. Oh. The crew here are all rounders in the truest sense. They serve your meals, make up your room, and somehow remember exactly how you like your latte by day 2. We learnt that they work 7 days on, 7 days off. Essentially 2 weeks worth of work in one go. And they do it all with the kind of energy that makes you feel instantly at home. The first day is the longest we'll spend entirely on board. Tomorrow, we'll start exploring off the train, but that just gives you more time to sink into the rhythm of the rails. We pass by the Hawkesbury River, glide alongside Mullet Creek. Mullet Creek. Ludvig's trying to grow a mullet, but I made him shave it off. And through an area nicknamed the Venice of Australia, before skirting Newcastle and joining the North Coast line. The tracks follow the river, with the light dipping low as we roll into Kundabung? Hopefully I'm saying that right, where the train is stabled for the night. Which means, blessedly, no rocking and swaying whilst you sleep. Just the stillness of quiet country night and in the middle of nowhere. Our first lunch of the trip set the tone for the next 6 days. And that tone is, we're in serious trouble because everything is going to be too darn good. Warm bread and butter to start, followed by a porcini and leek pasta that I'm still thinking about. And because apparently lunchtime dessert is a thing here, the most incredible cherry apple and blueberry galette. Honestly, if this is day 1, send help. Post-lunch, we headed for one of our favourite train pastimes, a fiercely competitive game of Scrabble in the Outback Explorer Lounge. This carriage is the heart of the train. Books and board games. We're also treated to live music from our onboard musician Brooke, and later in the trip, trivia, which, spoiler alert, Ludvig and I, we're not great at. Day 1 done. Tomorrow, we'll step off the train and into some of the unique towns that make this route so special. But for now, it's dinner, good company, and one last nightcap before bed.
We just got back from dinner and voila, didn't need to even organise a thing. So housekeeping must have our dinner times all written down, and they just come and discreetly make our beds while we're at dinner, and it's so beautiful just to have this nice turn down service at the top bunk. Very cute, right? Plenty of space for the head, some might say. Great for a 6'1" Swedish man up here. But my favourite thing of all, friends, is this tiny little narrow ladder. Look how tiny it is. Let's just take a walk up it, shall we?
It's an itinerary for tomorrow.
And what is it?
It is tomorrow's itinerary, what we're going to do. Yeah. It gives you the time, the breakfast time, departure of the train in the morning, what our stop is, and then it also says when we arrive at our next nightly stop.
This train actually stops. It is stationary overnight, which I do believe is the very first time I've ever experienced this on a train ride.
Yeah. It says here that we're not departing until 9:30.
Right, good night, guys. Good night. Cuddles.
Day 2 started with Ludvig doing what Ludvig does best, fetching me a coffee. Each carriage in the train seems to have its own little kitchenette of sorts, complete with bottled water, tea, instant coffee and a kettle. It's the perfect solution if you wake up before the barista coffee service starts. For early risers like us, it's a small but very welcome detail. Once the smell of fresh coffee from the dining car started drifting down the hallway, we made our way to the Queen Adelaide restaurant. Ludvig went for a banana berry French toast, while I had rye toast with avocado, ricotta and honey. I added a poached egg as well, for a bit of protein. The kitchen here is incredibly flexible. You can swap, change or add things as you like, and they're more than happy to cater for every dietary need.
Hey guys! Room tour time. We're gonna start off with the elephant in the room, and that, my friends, is 3 glorious seats. Straight away, I'm immediately drawn to the beautiful pattern. They've really stuck with the vintage theme on here. These seats are wonderful, and I might just admit, extremely comfy. Complete on these 3 seats are some lovely armrests. This is obviously going to turn into the bottom bunk, and then above me is going to be the top bunk at night time, so that's wonderful. Window comes complete with blinds that come down. Ludvig will give a demonstration of that. Behind me, I love, love, love these lights. So cool. Look how old and vintage these look. We have some hooks up here, which I have used immediately for my train hat. Then we come over this side. To my absolute surprise, we have some USB outlets here. That's absolutely wonderful. And then just next to that, we have a lovely little compartment. This is going to be my compartment for the lower bunk, whereas Ludvig has a nice little compartment up there because he is taking the top bunk, he said. Just over here is another really fancy light. We've got that vintage theme going on. Absolutely love it. And then revealing just behind my shoulder is the call button. You can then cancel that. And up here apparently is the emergency button. You hold that down for 3 seconds and a crew will come and run into your service immediately. Just over here we have a bunch of different lights. We've got our main light switch. Oh gosh, there's just a lot of different light switches going on here, and this is where you control them. Over here we have a really cute little narrow closet.
Oh. It pulls out for your storage convenience. So you don't have to reach in and try to find what you've put in here. You can just pull the whole shelf out.
Below that I think might even be cuter. Look how tiny this little door is. It's like a little slipper door. And inside we have used it immediately with Ludvig's slipper slider. Let's have a look at this cupboard over here, because yes indeed we do have more cupboards. This one reveals another little coat hanger section. This time we have 3. Also, to my complete surprise, we have a hairdryer. What's up with these trains and hairdryers? Not what I would expect, but I'm very, very happy about that, honestly. Come along over here. We have a nice little vanity section, a little mirror, complete with a little mirror light, a little shelf where we've placed various items. Then below that, we come to the drop table, and it reveals a little sink area with some cold water. And over here, a great place to store bags. Up here, looks like this is where all of our pillows are stored, a couple of extra blankies, and again, a ton of extra storage up here if you do have a bag that you want to get up and out of the way and it doesn't necessarily fit under the seat there. It's probably about time that Ludvig show you the main event in this room, really.
Come with me. So we have a shower head that is... Have you seen this? This is not suitable for a full-size 6'1". I'll have to go. I don't even think you can fit under that. Nope.
We're gonna have to duck.
Anywho, this is said bathroom. Comes complete with a pull-out basin, very nice, hot and cold water. Pull-out toilet bowl that I will later be taking a seat on. We've got face towels, we've got a little soap, a bathing cap that I might or might not wear later on. We have conditioner, shampoo, skin lotions, lovely. Behind us here we have a cupboard that opens up with all sorts of things.
This is going to be interesting. That might have been the best train shower I've ever had. The fact that the shower head is so low didn't make a difference at all. The pressure was great, the temperature was fantastic, and the fact that we're standing on a little wooden, I don't know, pallet, whatever, it feels nice. It's best train shower ever.
An extremely different experience having the train stable overnight. Like we said, I've never experienced that on a train before, and it was wonderful. Dead silent, completely still, and just like sleeping in a much smaller hotel bed. We literally just started moving moments ago. We've been stationary all the way through till well after breakfast, and we're on our way to a place called Port Macquarie this morning, where we're going to have a coach transfer taking us to a river cruise. We're going to be cruising through the Hastings River.
Yay! First time off the train. This was our stop for today's off-train adventure. a scenic lunch cruise along the Hastings River in Port Macquarie. The itinerary promised peaceful waters, abundant wildlife, and maybe even dolphins or sea eagles. And it absolutely delivered. The Hastings River has this calm, glassy quality, like the water's in no hurry to be anywhere. We glided past banks lined with tangled mangroves, sandy spits where birds were sunning themselves.
About 10 minutes into this cruise, and we've already spotted some dolphins. In the distance, not too far, we spotted 2 dolphins already. This is awesome. I originally, when I heard that, said, dolphins? In the river? But this river is indeed attached to the ocean, we did find out. But so far, so beautiful. We've got our live musician playing some lovely tunes. We've got some nice hot tea and coffee, and we've got a lunch buffet getting set up. Looks pretty delightful.
Closer to town, the scenery shifted to rows of beautiful waterfront homes. The kind of private jetties, sleek white boats, and huge glass windows overlooking the water. The cruise came with an open bar, which was a nice touch, though I stuck to tea and non-alcoholic wine at lunchtime during this journey because filming on a moving train is already challenging enough without adding a glass of Sauvignon Blanc to the mix.
Have you guys noticed my really snazzy filming in this video? Have you been thinking, whoa, wow, Chloe, who's that cameraman you've hired? Or, sheesh, Ludvig's got a really tall hold in that camera these days. Plot twist, it's just me and my new bestie, the Insta360 X5. Do you know what? Insta360 is actually sponsoring this video today, and I'm pretty gobsmacked. I love making videos, but I just want something super easy so I can get back to sipping my coffee and looking at the views. That's why the Insta360 X5 is my new favorite thing. It's so easy to use, so discreet, no stress, no big camera setup, just simple. One of my absolute favorite things about this is the invisible selfie stick. When you turn this on, these cameras around here completely take away this selfie stick in the video. How cool is that? Another reason the camera makes my life about 800 times easier is its shoot first, frame later. I can literally chuck this on, we're going over a bridge and I want to show the front view, the back view, maybe a dramatic pan, and bam, I get all of it. Did you know that this thing shoots in 8K? 8K! I didn't even know my eyes could see in 8K. And I love that it handles the light for me. The adaptive tone mode just figures it out. Bright window, dark tunnel, moody cabin lighting, it sorts it all out without me having to think about it. Genius. And another feature I've been really loving is pure video mode. Check this out. It's fantastic in low light. It came in real handy when I wanted to film a cozy nighttime shot of this train room. And let's say I don't want to have the 360 view, I can actually click the single lens option, and it is just that, single lens, just showing out one way or the other. I can also turn this around and have it selfie mode. Now you can see Ludvig filming this ad for me. And if you're a bit rough with it and your lenses get scratched, you can just swap them out. You got spares. Easy. And I can't forget about the mic air. This little mic is tiny, but so good. The magnet is ridiculously strong. I usually just clip it on and pretty much leave it there all day. It saves me faffing around with other mics, and the sound is so clear. Even when I'm doing interviews and a massive noisy train goes thundering past, it's still so clear, and I love it. You should definitely go and check it out in the description, and yes, it's an affiliate link, and yes, it might help me to fund future trains and soy lattes, so thank you in advance. If I've not mentioned yet, this right now is mid-July, middle of winter, and I'm freezing my butt off. I'm so glad I bought a nice warm jacket because it is cold. It is cold. Beware, bring a couple of layers. If you're like Ludvig, just some shorts will do fine, but honestly, I'm glad I brought some layers. Maybe a beanie, nice long socks. Yeah, it's pretty chilly. We are back in the cozy confines of our cabin, and once again, nice and warm. Thoroughly enjoyed the trivia. To my absolute surprise, our team, they drew with the other winning team.
Yeah, they, not us.
Yeah, our team won. There was a tie, but honestly, we did not contribute a thing. Now it's 3:30 p.m. We've got free time until 7:45. Between now and then, I'm gonna have my first use of the in-room shower. We might go to the lounge and have a little drink, socialize potentially, or we might just have a nap because it's very hard to stay awake on this train. Honestly, it's so relaxing. And then we're gonna have dinner and probably go straight to bed immediately. Did you have a nice day?
I had a fantastic day.
You did?
I did.
Ludvig was absolutely right. One of the best showers ever, and absolutely piping hot.
This right here. This is what train traveling is all about. Being bored in the best possible way.
It's 6:30 p.m. and since about 3 o'clock this afternoon, this has been my life. Tucked in, cozy blanket, no noise, just the rattling of the train against the tracks, a little bit of screeching as we turn corners, and it is so incredibly relaxing. One of the things you'll experience at mealtimes on this journey is that you're always seated at a table of 4, most of the time, meaning you're meeting new people at every meal. It's a little out of my comfort zone, but with Ludvig there, it's a lot easier. He's also a walking conversation starter. You don't see many people covered in tattoos on these trains, so he's instantly a topic of intrigue. Tonight's dinner started with mushroom arancini balls, followed by roasted chicken galantine for Ludvig, although he quickly decided he was addicted to the arancini balls and swapped out the chicken for more of them. Told you. The kitchen is super duper flexible. For my main, I had seared crayfish with pumpkin and sage gnocchi. And for dessert, oh my goodness, a golden steamed pudding with salted caramel sauce. My favorite dessert of the entire trip. This was heaven on a plate. Good night.
Right.
Coffee time.
We woke up nice and early for a barista-made coffee from our new friend Gabrielle, who was a latte legend. And as usual, we were among the first. We found that most people do head straight to the dining car for breakfast in the mornings, but when we have the time, we prefer to take it slow. Eventually, we made our way to the Queen Adelaide restaurant for breakfast. Today's choice? A roasted veggie frittata, plus a baked banana slice to share. Both were splendid, the kind of dishes that seem simple but are full of flavour. Not long after breakfast, we hopped on a coach for what I didn't realise at the time, but would turn out to be our favourite day of the entire trip. First stop, Byron Bay.
Wow. We just arrived at Byron Bay Lighthouse and bam, whales. Whales everywhere. Humpback whales apparently. That was kind of an unexpected bonus of this excursion. The real reason that we are here is to see Byron Bay Lighthouse. So here behind us is the Byron Bay Lighthouse itself. Pretty lovely looking lighthouse. You get the tip of it. The tip, it does count. Absolutely lovely. We've got an hour here to roam around. I have been told that there's a cafe and Ludvig's going to take some photos basically. What a beautiful day as well. It's about 20 degrees today. Lovely weather, quite windy. And yeah, this is a really nice stop. This is very, very different to sitting on the train. Really nice to get some fresh air, get some steps in, see some nature, see some whales. A very, very, very awesome excursion we've chosen here. Just learned as well, next to the Byron Bay Lighthouse is the most easterly point on mainland Australia that you can stand on, which is pretty darn awesome. And Al, our host, also did say she saw a whole pod of dolphins on this side over by the cafe.
From the lighthouse, we made our way to the North Byron Hotel, a little oasis tucked away from the bustle of town. Think lush gardens, shady spots, and a laid-back Byron Bay vibe. Lunch here was a standout of the whole trip. We had one of the best fish and chips dishes we'd ever eaten. Perfectly crispy batter, flaky fish, and chips that were dangerously Moorish. We rounded it off with a mocktail in the garden, soaking up the absolutely stunning weather today. It felt like the place I wanted to spend an entire week.
Oh, so refreshing. Today is honestly the most beautiful, most sunny day. Bliss, absolute bliss.
The train excitement does not stop on this journey, I tell ya. So we're on a big day out here in Byron Bay. Next on our list is the world's very first solar train, right here in Byron Bay. Let me tell you a few facts. A return service is provided on this solar train 364 days a year, excluding Christmas Day. And this train is an immaculately restored 1949 era 2-carriage heritage train. All thanks to a 4.6 $6 billion year old power source. The 3-kilometre coastal track links the Byron Bay town centre with the North Beach precinct and Byron Arts Estate. The journey takes about 10 minutes one way or 25 return from North Beach station. Very cool. There's a whole bunch of solar panels up on the roof, and they power 2 smaller engines about the size of a shoebox. How amazing is that? I've got the best husband in the whole world because he just bought me a train brooch. I've always wanted one of these and now I've got one. I'm gonna wear it right now. Trek Trendy has his NASA badge. I have a train badge. Bye, train.
While here in Byron Bay, we are going to a farm, but not just any farm. We are going to the farm.
Our last stop of the day before we head back to the train is this place called The Farm, and it is absolutely gorgeous. So there's a beautiful restaurant here and a little florist, a little shop selling all sorts of homemade granola and honey and all sorts of nice little health foods. It's very, very cool. And yeah, then you can just kind of roam around. There's a little gelato, ice cream, coffee store. Or cafe. There's a nut orchard. There are tons of turkey, geese, chickens, roosters. We've been told that if we walk this direction, we'll see friendly goats and weird-looking chickens. Ludvig's all about the weird-looking chickens. I'm all about the friendly goats.
Great news. We got back from our Byron Bay trip just a little bit early, so we have a little bit of time to head up to the front of the train and catch a glimpse of the locomotive. We've not seen it from the front yet, so it's going to be pretty cool, and it looks pretty awesome. Looks very vintage. Okay, 5 o'clock. Dinner isn't until 7:30, so I'm thinking it's lounge time. It's decaf coffee time because it's a little bit late for real caffeine. And a shower. Sure. That shower is marvellous. I'm excited.
Husband is just having a shower. So I am going to take you guys to check out the other accommodation on board, because yes, we've got this heritage twin room that we're staying in. There is another cabin option, and this is a single person room. I absolutely love how this corridor is kind of winding. It's like a snake. Oh my gosh, I found it. Okay, let's take a look inside. As you can see, it is a very small little room. Nice size. By day you've got this little seat. Looks like you've got a nice little footrest here as well. And this will obviously turn into a bunk bed. It does look like the bunk bed might come down from the wall there, but like a Murphy situation. Got a nice big window, looks like the exact same size as what we've got in our room. A couple of different power outlets here, along with 2 USB points. You've got, actually a really decent sized cupboard. Very good, a lot of room. Down there you've got your towels and things. Up top you've got a couple of different coat hangers. Next to that, a hook. Next to that you've got your light switches. Up top we have got a nice big rack. Obviously you've got your spare blanket, and this is also the perfect place to put luggage, get it up off the floor and out of the way. Below that we've got a nice little light for the mirror, little cup holdery type of thing here, and the same tap that we do have in our room that you cannot use. So I think it's kind of more of a show than anything, just to show what the bathrooms did look like back in the 1960s. You've got all of the same lovely toiletries that we have in our heritage room, towelettes, bottle of water. Got quite a lot of space up here to place things. So with the single person rooms, you do have a communal bathroom down the hall. You don't have an ensuite like we do in the heritage twin. And this is obviously just the toilet. Apparently there's a toilet down this end and then 2 showers, I think I heard, down the other end, but we'll go and take a look at that. So there is a shower here, and it's actually super, super spacious. A lot bigger than what we have in our heritage twin room. Whoa, it's absolutely massive. Look at the shower. And I did just notice across the hallway there is another bathroom that looks even bigger. Again, another massive shower. We've got a ton of changing space here, like a lot of space. And toilet, basin, cupboards, Wow.
Back on board, we headed straight for the lounge to toast the day with a drink. Ludvig discovering a lovely alcohol-free Shiraz he's now very fond of. And while you're sipping wine and enjoying live music, waiting for your dinner time to roll around, you can graze on this insane cheese platter just sitting there in the lounge. Does life get any better? I think not. It had been an absolutely awesome day. Nothing too hectic, but still so full of nature and fresh air, which is exactly the kind of travel that makes us happiest. As we sat listening to our onboard musician play, I couldn't help but feel so grateful for days like this. They might seem simple on paper, but they're the ones that stay with you forever.
Let me just talk to you about how darn good this food is. It is sensational. Every dinner is 3 courses. You have a little menu, you've got a starter, everybody gets the same starter. You then have 3 mains to choose from. Generally there's like a red meat, then a fish or a chicken, and then there's a vegetarian always. And then there are generally 2 desserts to choose from, and everything is insane. Tonight we got a Capri salad to start, and it looks and smells amazing. It's so fresh.
That their menu is based around the regions that we travel through. So the menu changes, the ingredients change based on where we're traveling through at the time, the different itineraries. So everything is super fresh and super curated to, the regions, the paddocks, the fields, the mountains that we're going through. And I love it.
For our main tonight, we have gone for the purple carrot soup with various things on top, including creme fraiche and chives and popcorn. I don't know, the concoctions that they put on here in these trains are just mind-blowing, and there's an actual chef back there, by the way, in the kitchen, working hard, and these things are created fresh. Oh my goodness, you are going to adore that, Ludvig. It is so garlicky, so olive oily.
All right, we've got dessert, and we're going to do this extremely fast because I've got ice cream and I've got no time to waste. It is melting, but let's give it a go. As far as I know, this is fig ice cream. All right, we're going to dig in.
Yum.
It's 6:45. We've had dinner. We've had a glass of wine. I don't know. Bedtime.
We woke up extra early this morning to grab a shot of the lounge while it was completely empty, just for you guys. This place is usually the hub for socializing on board, so catching it without a single person in sight is rare. That's where we met Kelly, one of the lovely team members on board, who asked if we would like a sneak peek at the kitchen. Of course, we said yes. The air was thick with the smell of bacon and eggs and bread as the chefs prepared for breakfast. Kelly also took us into the Queen Adelaide restaurant while it was still dark outside. It was so cozy, dimly lit, and almost romantic in that early morning calm. She was genuinely so excited to share this side of the train with us. And it was one of those lovely small moments that make you feel like you're really part of the life on board. Now, if this isn't a train outfit, I don't know what is. Take one look at me and instantly you'll think. Today is day 4, and it's our second to last day on the train. Honestly, this trip has gone really slowly, and that's exactly what we love. Today, my friends, we are off to a Slim Dusty Centre. If you're not from Australia, you might not have heard of Slim Dusty. I certainly hadn't, neither did Ludvig. But here's the quick version. He was a country music legend, alongside his wife Joy McKean, and together they made a massive impact on rural and regional Australia. Now, I'll be honest, the museum wasn't exactly aimed at our generation, but judging by the smiles, sing-alongs, and excited chatter from most of the other passengers, this was their moment, and they loved it. Lunch here was sweet and simple. Little mini egg sandwiches and ham and cheese sandwiches, and also scones with jam and cream. Sometimes the smallest, most straightforward meals are exactly what you need after a morning of exploring. After lunch, the coaches took us back to the train, where we continued south along the North Coast Railway line. The route wound through prime dairy country, rolling green hills glowing in that late afternoon light. And as the sunset approached, we arrived at the Rail Motor Society in a place called Patterson, where we'd be stabling for the night. Dinner was served on board, with the warm hum of conversation filling the dining car as the day wound down.
This afternoon, something very exciting is happening, and that is trivia. It's the first and only time we have it on our schedule, so I'm very excited. Maybe today is the day I have an espresso cocktail. Tomorrow is our final day. We are, however, on board until 8 p.m. tomorrow night, so we've got a full day. It's a full 5 days this. It's been quite a long one. Crew are amazing. They have smiles on their face. They are so positive. They are so incredibly lovely. Honestly, you can't fault the crew. They make this trip what it is, and I appreciate every single one of them. Anyway, Ludvig's waiting for me. Better go and get my spot ready for trivia that we're probably going to most definitely fail, because we don't know many cool facts. The only thing I know about is travelling in trains.
Our morning began with the most delicious Eggs Benedict, Ludvig's absolute favourite. How good was it, you ask? Well, I'll let him tell you guys on camera.
This is the best meal of the entire trip, hands down.
It was the perfect way to start our final day on board, even if it did make us just a little sad knowing the journey was almost over.
Good morning. We are currently parked at a place called Patterson. That is actually where we've been stationary overnight, and just so happens that right next to the train there is this Rail Society. Apparently everybody who works here have been amongst trains all of their life, and it's their passion, and they basically take old trains, restore them, and we're allowed to take a little walk through right now, which is pretty awesome. Anyway, we've extended the long stick, so let's take you for a nice long walk, I reckon.
Wow. Oh, look.
Oh, this is extreme
wow.
All right, this is the green one. We get to go and take a look inside. This, my friends, is only economy. We must check out first class. But first, we check out the bathroom. Oh wow, look at this. This is pretty tiny, pretty cute. We are gonna check out first class right now. The seating, very similar to economy, I must admit, but it is indeed first class. And look at this, is this where the driver sat? If you do come on this train, just be aware, you've got a hefty fine if you put your feet on the seats of $200.
But if you throw something out the carriage and cause serious injury to the public, it's 40.
It's time for another interview.
I like to make people feel extremely awkward. Right now, we are about to speak with Brett, the journey manager.
It's great to have you on board, thank you.
So, how many years have you been working with Journey Beyond?
This is my 12th year now, so quite a while. Yeah.
Okay. You said as well, like, even though they are working a week on, a week off, during those weeks on, you do work a good 2 weeks worth of work in that 1 week.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're very, very busy days on train, as you know.
Yes.
Some of the crew doing sort of 16-hour days some days, which is busy, but we'll enjoy it, so it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This crew that I've got here, very, very happy. I've really lucked out with them. They're a fantastic crew. They get on really well together.
Yeah.
And the guests love them as well.
Yeah.
One more question. What is your dream train journey in the entire world?
I'd love to do the Rocky Mountaineer in Canada.
Yay, thanks, Brett.
No worries.
You're awesome.
Cheers.
From there, we made our way to Maitland. And I have to say, this town is adorable. It's got such an English vibe about it. Heritage buildings, leafy streets, and that mix of old world charm and creative energy that makes you want to linger. Our Our first stop was the Maitland Regional Art Gallery, which was a complete surprise in the best way. A mix of contemporary and traditional works all displayed in a gorgeous heritage building. We also visited the Grossman House, built in 1870 and restored by the National Trust in the 1960s. Walking through feels like stepping back into another time entirely, with every room carefully preserved. At Maitland, we boarded the train for the last time. And honestly, this is where it really hit me. Just how much this journey has felt like stepping back in time. Not in a forced, themed way, but in the real old-fashioned sense. Slower days, scenic views, strangers becoming friends, and a rhythm that makes you forget what day it is. The crew have been absolutely nothing short of exceptional. Warm, funny, endlessly helpful, and clearly in love with what they do. And the food? Completely over the top in the best possible way.
We've come to the last 2 hours on board, and basically they're throwing like a little event in the lounge. There's going to be live music. There's going to be what's called a floating buffet. We've heard it's mainly sweets and cocktails, wine, and yeah, everyone's just going to have a grand old time and socialise.
Holy moly, the lounge is absolutely jam-packed, so I'm going to put the camera down so you can see their feet. I don't like filming people's faces, but I'll show you how many feet there are.
Our final hours on board was one last reminder of just how special this journey has been. Incredible food, friendly faces, and the gentle rhythm of the train carrying us all the way back to Sydney. By the time we pulled into Central Station, it was quite hard to believe that 5 days had passed.
That was very fun, and also kind of sad to say goodbye to everybody. Everybody was very interested in our YouTube channel. They were all laughing at the name, sometimes Ludvig. It's very entertaining for people.
Sometimes that's me.
We gave out our very special business cards. If you haven't seen them, we hand them to people like that as well, with this little, look, I don't know if you can see, it's got a little mini handle there. And inside, there's like a little QR code and our Instagram handle and our YouTube handle and stuff. I think trains, you just make so many incredible connections. You've got so much time to connect with people, and you meet so many different walks of life. And yeah, it's a really special way to travel. I absolutely love it.
For those wondering, fares for the 5-day Southern Aurora vintage rail journey start from around $3,595 per person for a heritage twin cabin, and a little less for the heritage single cabin. Our journey, however, was generously hosted by Journey Beyond. But as always, all thoughts, opinions, and dessert obsessions are entirely our own.
But the fun doesn't stop here. We do get back in Sydney, but we have an extra special thing booked tomorrow night as a part of this journey.
So, the next night we joined one of Journey Beyond's optional pre- or post-journey experiences, a luxury Sydney Harbour cruise. We boarded this beautiful boat, which is a 78-foot luxury cruiser that only takes up to 80 guests. So it felt very intimate and without being crowded. There's loads of space to wander between the main and upper and sun decks, all with uninterrupted 360-degree views. We literally went under the harbour bridge and right beside the Sydney Opera House, and we got to see Luna Park with its twinkling nightlights. Holy moly, they timed this perfectly for sunset. Oh, and by the way, we saw fireworks. Was this planned? I don't know, but it was perfect timing. I think you could tell on my face just how much I loved this experience. So yeah, I highly recommend. The sky turned every shade of gold, pink and purple, and Sydney just looked sensational. Dinner was a chef-designed 3-course meal with locally sourced seasonal ingredients, each course matched with beautiful Australian wines. Every bite was as good as the views, and that's saying something. This felt like the perfect way to end this trip. A moment to just soak it all in before we had to say goodbye properly. And a reminder that sometimes the encore can be just as magical as the show. Gosh, that was another really cheesy word, but pretty true.